Given us a shoe!
The shoe is the sign. Let us follow his example.
What?
Let us, like him, hold up one shoe and let the other be upon our foot, for this is his sign that all who follow him shall do likewise.
Yes. No, the shoe is a sign that we must gather shoes together in abundance.
Cast off the shoes, follow the gourd!
No, let us gather shoes together. Let me.
No, it is a sign that, like him, we must think not of the things of the body, but of the face and head.
Give me your shoe.
Get off!
Follow the gourd, the holy gourd of Jerusalem!
The gourd! Hold up the sandal as he has commanded us.
It is a shoe!
It's a sandal!
No, it is not a shoe!
Cast it away!
Put it on! Clear off!
Take the shoes and follow him!
Stop!
Let us pray. Yea, he cometh to us like the seeds of the grave.
A little fellow walking into a bar, and standing outside is a nun. And she looks at him and she says, "Before you enter this den of iniquity, think of your mother and your father." He said, "They're dead. They're dead in heaven." She said, "Well, think of the damage the alcohol is going to do to your brain." Huh? What are you talking about? Have you ever had a drink? And the nun says, "No." He said, "Well, how the hell can you stand there talking about it and saying drink is going to do damage to your brain if you've never had it?" I'll tell you what, I'll go in, get your drink, bring it out, give it to you, you drink it. If you don't like it, then you can talk about it. But don't talk about things you've never experienced. What'll you have? And the nun says, "I don't know." "What do ladies generally drink?" He says, "Gin." She says, "All right, I'll have a gin. But get it in a cup so nobody will notice." The fellow goes into the bar and he says, "Give us a pint of beer and a double gin in a cup." And the fellow says, "Is that bloody nun out there again?"
The Pope, discussing the existence of God with an out-and-out atheist, starts off very correctly, discussion, and as the hours go by, it gets more and more heated, and eventually the Pope turns to the man and he said, "The mom! Get the mom! And you, come here. You are like a man who is totally blindfolded in a dark room looking for a black cat that is not there." The fellow said, "With all respect, Your Holiness, I think there's great similarity between us both." He said, "What do you mean, similarity?" He said, "Well, as far as I'm concerned, you are like a man who is blindfolded in a totally dark room looking for a black cat that isn't there. The only difference is that you found it." Get a nun, gets up in the morning and leaves and walks down the corridor. And another nun looks at her and says, it's a difficult thing to say, I'm not a nun, and says, "You got out of the wrong side of the bed this morning." And she goes on down, and another nun says, "You got out of the wrong side of the bed this morning." And this happens 15 times, and by then she's livid. And she meets the Mother Superior. And the Mother Superior is just about to open her mouth, and the sister says, "Don't tell me that I got out of the wrong side of the bed this morning!" And the Mother Superior said, "I wasn't going to say that. I was just going to say, what are you doing with the bishop's shoes on?" I am what you might call a practicing atheist. I'm quite happy to be an atheist because I think actually God likes atheists better. We never ask him for anything. We're not bothering him all the time saying, oh, God, please help me, I want this thing. And as a practicing atheist, there's certain things that I travel around the world, and no matter where I go, somebody called Gideon leaves me this book to read. It's an Irish book because it says it all began at the beginning. There are certain things that, when I read the Bible, and I do read the Bible, that I find difficult to understand. I mean, if God has been there forever, what was he doing before he got to us? I mean, what was he out there doing? Was he sitting there going, bored today, what'll I do? I mean, suddenly from nowhere, he suddenly decided to create a world. I'll make a world, that's what. Make a world, yes, that's what I'll do. Rivers, seas, boom, mountains, boom, everything is there. I want a garden. I'd like a nice garden. Whack! Garden bee. Hate gardening. Need a garden. Ah, gardener, spit and dust. Adam. Hey! And he, Adam, never once says, where in the name of God did I come from? I mean, he's 40 years of age. He has no child, he has no recall. He doesn't say, how did I get here? But he's quite happy. He just kind of trundles around the garden, working away. And God is looking at him. And he sees that Adam is happy. I didn't put him there to be happy. I'll put a stop to that. And God, during the night, sneaks down like a thief and steals, doesn't ask, doesn't request, steals it. His rib. And from his rib, he makes woman. And Adam wakes up in the morning, he's a real thickie. He's lying there, and there's somebody else, he doesn't say, where did you come from? How the hell did you get here? Where did you get those lumps? Just goes out and goes gardening. And God comes down and has a conversation with Eve and tells her that she can eat of any fruit in the tree in the whole garden with the exception of one fruit tree. He's talking to a woman. He actually tells her not to eat of the fruit. And then when she said, which tree can't I eat? He said, that one over there. He points it out to her. And when he goes and hides, and she sneaks up to the tree, and a snake comes down and has a conversation. A snake. Now, if I see a snake, I'll back off. One starts talking, I'll crap myself. And the snake actually convinces her to eat the apple. And she eats the apple. And when she eats the apple, she learns shame. That's what happens when you eat apples. Now, she's not ashamed that she's disobeyed God or that she's eaten the apple. She's ashamed of one part of her body. That's all. She becomes ashamed of that area of the body. Now, why that area? Why not her elbow? Her nose. Do you actually realize that if Eve had been ashamed of her nose, every woman in the world now would be ashamed of your noses? You'd all be sitting here tonight with little nose knickers on. Men would be in nightclubs watching totally naked ladies with G-strings on their nose. Take them off. Oh, I saw a nose. And this is the book. This is the book that you'll go into court and place your hand upon. And swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth. The first funeral I ever went to, and believe me, this is true, I was 6 years of age.
And as they lowered the box into the ground, the priest said, "In the name of the Father, and the Son, and the Holy Ghost." And I, for years, used to bless myself and say, "In the name of the Father, and the Son, and into the Holy Ghost." One final custom that we have in Ireland regarding death and a funeral is that only one person who is buried in a graveyard can go to heaven. Which basically means if two people are buried in the same graveyard on the same day, the last one in has got to wait till tomorrow. So can you imagine what would happen if one funeral met another funeral going to the same graveyard? Little fella dies and goes to heaven, and some people say, would you like to have a look around heaven? And the fellow, yeah, I would actually. So they're looking around heaven, and he said, who are those people over there? He said, oh, they are the Muslims. They are Muslims there, and over there we have the Jewish people. And these are Anglicans and Hindus, Baptists. He said, why do you have this big wall here? He said, behind the wall, you see, we have the Catholics. He said, why do you have the Catholics behind the wall? He said, shh, they like to think that they're the only ones here.
I was talking to a man the other day who was leaving, decided to immigrate, decided to leave this country. And I said, why are you leaving? He said, it's homosexuality. I said, what are you talking about? He said, 300 years ago, if you were homosexual, you were hanged, drawn, and quartered. 100 years ago, if you were homosexual, you were hanged. 50 years ago, if you were homosexual, you were flogged and given 20 years in prison. 20 years ago, if you were homosexual, you were fined £200 and sent to prison for 2 years. 5 years ago, if you were homosexual, you had a small fine and you were pardoned. Got off with a warning. I said, well, what are you leaving for? He said, I'm going before they make it compulsory.
Sorry? I want to insure myself against becoming Jewish. A maximum cover, not too high a premium if possible.
Yes, well, I think you'd better take a seat.
Thank you, thank you.
Are you comfortable?
Oh, I'll get by, I'll get by.
Now, look, while what you suggest is perfectly reasonable in every way, we as the insurers have to satisfy ourselves, you see, that the chance of you becoming Jewish is minimized as far as possible. Do you understand?
You mean you think I'm already Jewish?
No, I don't.
You think I'm Jewish already?
No.
Well, if you think I'm Jewish, just come right out and say so.
I think you're Jewish. Little note of levity. However, I will have to take down some details, obviously, for the sake of... now, could I have your name, please?
It's Abrahams.
Abrahams, yes. Now, and your address?
35, Bar Mitzvah Garden. Stanmore.
Yes, right. Well, Mr. Abrahams,
No, please, call me Reuben.
Thank you. Well, Robin,
Reuben.
Sorry, Reuben. While I personally don't doubt your sincerity in any way at all, I mean, I really mean that, I can't, of course, answer, you see, for my superiors.
Oh, superior, schmooperior. You're going to let them tell you what to do?
Now, look, that is the sort of thing that may very well arouse suspicions. That Jewish expression.
Look, I can't help my face, can I? What can I do about my own face? I can't do anything about my own face. Look, why don't you accept the word of a man when he says he's not Jewish? Look at me. I'm miserable. Jewish people have a wonderful sense of humour. They're funny. Look at Max Bygrave.
Max Bygrave is not Jewish.
Exactly. All my life, I'm Gentile. Please, I'm as goy as they come.
Look, I must ask you to leave the office. I really...
Oh, what a mashuggah. Look, please, would you mind, do me a favour, just reconsider my offer, would you please?
Look, you don't seem to understand, Mr. Abrams, the very principle of insurance is that you, the client, pay we, the insurers, large sums of money.
Yes?
Yes, that is it. that is insurance, you see. Now, were you to ask me to insure you against becoming a Catholic...
A Catholic? What do you take me for? What do you take me for? I should want a policy against sudden conversion to Catholicism. You must think I'm balmy.
£1 a month.
Oh, £1 a month, I'll take it. Look, could you insure my friend Jaime as well?
Against becoming a Catholic, certainly.
Oh, that's wonderful. He's outside. I'll just go and get him. It won't take a moment, thank you. Jaime, the man says he will insure you against becoming a Catholic. I told you I'll get you a good deal. Come on in. This is my friend Jaime Borgia.
Who's been fighting?
Circumcision. I mean, I would love to have been there for the first people to hear about this. You know, I mean, we're used to it now, but, you know, I mean, I'm sure when Moses came down with this idea, there had to be one guy going, let me get this straight. My mother is Jewish and my father is Catholic. That is the truth. I was raised Catholic formally, although I must say the Jewish mind comes out, even in the Catholic system. Give you an example, we used to go into confession, and I would bring a lawyer in with me. Bless me, Father, for I have sinned. I think you know Mr. Cohen. On the Iraq front, which we'll get to shortly, the bidding for Turkey is still at $26 billion. $26 billion to let us deploy our troops there. Now, Joe Lieberman came out today and he said not to criticize the president, but that's what happens when you let the Gentiles do the haggling. Stop being the place that's always challenging the theory of evolution. What's next to challenge? Gravity? Is that just a plot by the Jews up north to get people to drop spare change?
It's moving day. Can anything be more stressful? The packing, the lifting, saying goodbye to the neighbors. Why say oy vey when there's a better way? Chosen people choose Jew-Haul. Jew-Haul, serving 3 major routes: Gaza to Haifa, Jerusalem to Tel Aviv, and New York to Miami. Go Jew-Haul and leave the schlepping to us. Jew-Haul, relocating Jews for over 5,000 years.
Over in Gaza, oh boy, you've seen that, what's going on in Israel. Heart-wrenching. The soldiers carrying Jews out of their homes, and hundreds of Jews were screaming. They were screaming, "You're doing it wrong. Lift with your knees." I kid the Jews. You know I do. No, it's very sad. They tried everything to get these people to leave. They tried water cannons. They tried special forces. They tried wire cutters. Finally, as a last resort, they had a black family move in next door, and they just right out of the gate. Come on, it came out this week that here in Los Angeles, at one time, 11% of priests were accused of having sex with children. Wow. Now, to be fair, rabbis slice off a piece of a kid's cock every day. No one says boo. The main reason to have your trial here is, unlike Iraq, we have good Jew lawyers. In Baghdad, they'll say you gassed the Kurds, but that's not the way it'll come out when Mark Garagos or Bob Shapiro is representing you. No, what happened is you had your weapons of mass destruction with you that night at an Italian restaurant. Tuesday, what we did, we sent a saw down there and we cut the tip off of the pipe. Tuesday, we cut the tip off. Thursday, we made it wear a hat. We can't stop the oil from flowing, but we can make it an Orthodox Jew. That's as much as Elena Kagan, because that was the big news this week, a new Supreme Court nominee. She's a nice Jewish lady from New York. Did you hear? Elena Kagan is going to be on the Supreme Court. I'm channeling her friends. It's death to Israel. Israel is nervous for very good reason. They're losing their big partner here. Anthony?
What? What do you... I don't say, every time there's a Jew question, it comes to me. I don't understand that. What is it?
All right.
It's your district, constituent service.
Speaking of Jew questions, let's move on to finance. You know, you said one congressional aide said if Lloyd Blankfeld is a... Blankfein.
Right.
I get the Jews mixed up. But you think that's actually going to happen? If you were betting your own money, would you say it's going to happen?
I think there's a good chance if
Come on,
given
a Jew
the proper...
betting his own money. You got to... Obama brags about it. Obama said this week, I heard him a couple of times say, you know what, we met the Republicans, what they asked, and then we gave them more. He is a terrible negotiator.
No.
Does he not even know a Jew?
No.
Kid from New Jersey, right?
Still a kid from New Jersey.
Who is the ambassador from Israel to your mother must be, I mean, I can only imagine what she must say to you. You couldn't be a doctor? The Israeli scientists who are developing a strain of medical marijuana that doesn't get you high must stop. Leave it to the Jews to take the fun out of glaucoma and chemotherapy. The movie has been condemned by both Christians and Muslims, so it must be doing something right. And they say it also may lose a fortune for the studio, which would put it in hot water with the Jews, too. The Spanish scholars who now claim Christopher Columbus was secretly a Jew have to provide better proof.
Yes, he tithed 10%, which was a Jewish custom at the time, and some of his letters did have a cryptic Jewish symbol, and in the ship's galley, he often complained about the portions. And he was briefly married to Joan Rivers. And, and just going by this painting, he looked exactly like Harvey Fierstein, but if Columbus really were a Jew, don't you think he would have landed in Florida? What if for Columbus Day, everyone wore wife beaters and moved back in with their mother? Or for Rosh Hashanah, we all went out for Chinese and then argued about the bill for an hour. Meetings with two banks in the White House who gave him $500 million, and his security clearance has over 100 omissions and errors on it. I can say this because my mother was Jewish. He's too stupid to be a Jew. He is an Orthodox Jew, and they're already setting up a prison for him, Leavenworth. This Michael Cohen is such a bad lawyer. His Jewish mother called him today and said, "Michael, why couldn't you have grown up to be a lawyer?"
Once a stronghold of forces loyal to captured dictator Saddam Hussein, the city of Tikrit, here in northern Iraq, is now firmly under the control of American forces. Or is it? These members of the Iraqi resistance movement, still loyal to Saddam Hussein, think otherwise.
The Americans tell lies. Each day our forces grow stronger. Each day we move closer to our goal of driving the infidel... What are they?
Nothing. Carry on.
Driving the infidels from our motherland. We are not afraid to... Are they subtitles? They are, aren't they?
No.
Well, what do I need subtitles for? Can't you understand what I'm saying? I studied English at the bloody American University in Cairo.
Well, obviously I can understand what you're saying.
Oh, you see how they condescend to us with their subtitles.
Oh, maybe it's teletext, you know, for the hearing impaired.
Teletext?
No, a lot of TVs come with teletext nowadays.
Wait, say something again.
My friend has an 80-cent...
Hey, how come he doesn't need subtitles?
Well, obviously he's comprehensible.
No, I'm not! Look, if I speak perfect English. She sells seashells by the seashore. Peter Piper, pick a peck of pickled peppers. Round the ragged rocks, Oh!
The situation remains as dangerous and volatile as ever here in northern Iraq. While the rebuilding continues...
What? I can't understand you speak English. Where is your subtitles now? Oh, you think you're so good. Look at me. I got subtitles.
Harry Downs, Iraq.
Shut up!
Unlikely things to hear in a religious program.
Marry, shag, avoid, Father, Son, Holy Ghost.
Does Jesus save? Let's check the VAR.
If you'd like to make a donation, please use the church's own online payment system, PayPal.
And Jesus was born in a manger, surrounded by sandwiches and cappuccinos, for this was a Pret-a-Manger.
Can we all stop calling Andrew Scott the sexy priest from Fleabag? Every priest is sexy when you've had enough altar wine.
So, if you want to hire an outfit for a marriage in a mosque, come here. Mosque Bros.
Thank you for watching, and stay tuned for Stargazing Live, where Dara O'Brien and Brian Cox will fill your head with heathen lies.
And there's the priest wearing a special new dog collar for the event. Welcome to Fetish Week on Songs of Praise.
Welcome to the show in which a man wearing a turban will help you when you can't get through the chain barriers. This is Seek Assistance.
In Judaism, there is no hell, just a Labour Party conference.
Well, due to a typo on the programme this morning, we have a bishop, an imam, and representing the Jewish community, the Chief Rabbit.
Thank you for watching Songs of Praise. And remember, when you go to heaven, I'm sure it'll be fine when God says, but you didn't go to church. And you said, no, but I did watch it on the telly.
And then it rained for 40 days and 40 nights, which I can only assume had something to do with the homosexuals.
And Jesus fed the gathering with the 5 loaves and the 2 fishes, apart from the vegan with the wheat allergy who had to bring his own stuff.
This is St. Paul's Cathedral, which, because of a no-deal Brexit, is now a Wetherspoons.
And God said, let there be light, and there was light. And then he created Eve, but he didn't fancy her, so he switched off his light, because no likey, no lighty.